Okay, hey guys. So I know it's been a really long time since I uploaded a YouTube video, but I've been meaning to make one. It's just that I got so busy, and it's like nearly December now in Canada, which means that the sun sets at like 3 p.m. and today it was all raining, and I was planning on doing this like way earlier in the day so that I could actually have natural daylight shining on me, but then it started pouring, and then the sky got all clouded over, and it like got really dark really fast, and something came up, so then I couldn't get home as early as I wanted to, and you know how it goes, all these excuses. So yeah, that's kind of disappointing that it's like really dark, but hopefully you can still see me, I hope. But yeah, so today's actually Sunday, so I went to church this morning, so that's kind of fitting for this video. I just thought I would flip to some pages and kind of read to you some sections of my Bible that I have highlighted, and hopefully that'll be kind of fun and interesting. I don't know. Yeah, so I was going to read, let's see, let me just flip to a random page. Okay, let's go to Isaiah. It says in Isaiah chapter 50, verse 7, "Because the sovereign Lord helps me, I will not be disgraced. Therefore have I set my face like flint, and I know I will not be put to shame." And I think I had highlighted the verse before this on the previous page, so let's just go back. So in verse 6 it says, "I offered my back to those who beat me, my cheeks to those who pulled out my beard. I did not hide my face from mocking and spitting." And then it says, "Because the sovereign Lord helps me, I will not be disgraced. Therefore have I set my face like flint, and I know I will not be put to shame." I actually don't know what flint is, but I don't know. I think I get the general idea is that, yeah, the writer is probably saying that because he has faith in God, that he is not going to cower to people who are opposing him and trying to shame him and mock him. Yeah, but I'm not like an expert of the Bible, so these are just kind of like my musings, and yeah, so don't hold anything against me, hopefully. Or if you do, I don't know. I don't know, I just thought this would be a cool video. Okay, so I'll just go to another section of my Bible. I have a lot of things that I highlight. I think I highlight because not only do the words resonate with me, but I also highlight it if I really like the descriptive imagery or the words that they use to describe things. Like here it says in Isaiah 41, it says, verse 18, "I will turn the desert into pools of water and the parched ground into springs. I will put in the desert the cedar and the acacia, the myrtle and the olive. I will set pines in the wasteland, the fir and the cypress together, so that people may see and know, may consider and understand that the hand of the Lord has done this, that the Holy One of Israel has created it." So I guess I like this idea of like creating like beautiful, I guess it's like beautiful flora or like plantations, I don't know. Plantation, is that the right word? It's like vegetation. I think that's the word I was thinking of. In a desert. It says, "I will turn the desert into pools of water." So it's kind of like making a very like fruitful scene out of a barren scene, I guess. So that people may see and know. consider and understand the hand of the Lord has done this. Okay, so let's go to a different book and see if I have anything highlighted here. Okay, so this is Matthew chapter 18, verse 3. Jesus says, I tell you the truth, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Therefore, whoever humbles himself like this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. So, yeah, to act like really, I think like an attribute of children is also that they have goodwill usually. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess some kids could be vengeful, but I think kids they're always trying to learn. So like toddlers too, they're like trying to learn. So I think always having a spirit of like being humble and knowing that you have a lot more to learn and that you don't know everything is kind of the idea here. Yeah, and by the way, I'm no expert at the Bible. I don't really study the Bible like a Bible scholar does. So, just FYI, disclaimer. I just thought this would be a fun video. Have I already said this in this video? Because I don't know. I've done a few takes of this video already. So, I'm a little bit woozy. Okay, so in Mark chapter 13, it says, this is about the end of the age. It says that all men will hate you because of me, but he who stands firm to the end will be saved. And this is Jesus talking. And then later Jesus says in verse 25, the one I just read was verse 13. And then here in verse 24, 25, it says, the sun will be darkened and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from the sky and the heavenly bodies will be shaken. I think I highlighted this because it was just like a really poetic, beautiful wording. The sun will be darkened and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from the sky and the heavenly bodies will be shaken. Like imagine that, like if that's actually like in the reality, if that was happening right now, it would be like comets or something falling from the sky, or like the Milky Way like shaking or something like that, which would be crazy. Yeah, so this is talking about the Son of Man coming in clouds with great power and glory. He will send his angels, gather his elect from the four winds, from the ends of the earth to the ends of the heavens. Wow. Yeah. Let's see what else there is I could read out to you. So, along those lines, it says in John chapter 15 that if the world hates you, this is verse 18, keep in mind that it hated me first. Again, this is Jesus talking. If you belonged to the world, it would love you as its own. As it is, you do not belong to the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. That is why the world hates you. Remember the words I spoke to you. No servant is greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will persecute you also. Yeah, so it's just kind of like saying that you are going to face trials and you're going to face persecution. I wonder what else I have highlighted. So in 2 Thessalonians verse 3 it says, but the Lord is faithful. Chapter 3 verse 3, but the Lord is faithful and he will strengthen and protect you from the evil one. That's kind of a nice continuation from that. And I think there was another thing. Oh, okay. And then here is Luke chapter 22, verse 26. Instead, the greatest among you should be like the youngest, and the one who rules like the one who serves. So basically, the person who's like the king or the ruler or the leader should be like the least of them and do all the things that the person, I guess, at the bottom of the totem pole would do. Yeah, harder said than done. Yeah, but that is the ideal, I would say. I don't know, like whatever job is considered a lowly job, that should be something that the person who is highest in authority does. That's the picture painted here, I think. Just being humble, and yeah, that seems like the theme. Okay, let's go to another book. Okay, so 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 12. Now we see but a poor reflection as in a mirror, then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. And now these three remain, faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. I don't really know why I highlighted verse 12 out of all these verses. It says, again, now we see but a poor reflection as in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part. Then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. The verses before that, it says, when I was a child, I talked like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put childish ways behind me. Now we see but a poor reflection, as in a mirror. Okay. Then we shall see face to face. I think it's kind of about like I'm just like lost in thought right now. Maybe one day it'll come back to me why I highlighted that, but it seems to be talking about like sort of like when you're self-reflecting. And I think it's talking about when Jesus does come, how everything imperfect is going to go away and everything that we didn't know is going to be fully known. I think that's what it is, but again, I'm not a Bible expert. But yeah, I kind of like that. I think maybe I highlighted it even because I didn't really understand it, maybe. And of course, faith, hope, and love, the greatest of these is love. Okay, let's go and see if I highlighted anything in the Old Testament. Or in the very beginning of the Bible. I don't know if it doesn't look like I highlighted a lot up here. Let's see if there's anything in here. Oh, okay. Yeah, in Deuteronomy I did highlight something. So it says in Deuteronomy 31 verse 6, it says, "Be strong and courageous, do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you, he will never leave you nor forsake you." And then there is, let's see, some other books. Oh, I don't have a lot of highlights in Chronicles at all. Okay. I don't know. I'm just looking. Okay, well, now I'm into Psalm, so I guess I can read some of these. So here in Psalm 109, verse 17, it says, "He loved to pronounce a curse, may it come on him. He found no pleasure in blessing, may it be far from him." So this is basically saying, I think I highlighted this because it's like when a person is wishing ill will towards somebody, it's just saying that they should not be doing that, obviously. And then if they find no pleasure in being a blessing to people, then that's not good either. That's basically what and I guess I like the way that it's phrased, like, may it come on him, may it be far from him, because it's like very poetic the way that it's written. He loved to pronounce a curse, may it come on him. He found no pleasure in blessing, may it be far from him. And then I also highlighted Psalm 114, verse 8. So it says, "The God of Jacob, who turned the rock into a pool, the hard rock into springs of water." And I think I highlighted that again because I really admired and thought that the writing was nice. Good thing to meditate on. Okay, Psalm 120, verse 6. It says, "Too long have I lived among those who hate peace. I am a man of peace, but when I speak, they are for war." And then Psalm 121, I highlighted 6, 7, and 8. "The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore." That's a very comforting type of little song. Okay, let's leave Psalm and go to Jeremiah. So here it says that the word of the Lord came to me. This is chapter 1, saying, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations." "Ah, sovereign Lord," I said, "I do not know how to speak. I am only a child." But the Lord said to me, "Do not say, 'I am only a child.' You must go to everyone I send you to and say whatever I command you. Do not be afraid of them, for I am with you and will rescue you, declares the Lord." Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time I feel like don't know why, but like my camera always just like turns off. I don't know if you even heard what I last said, but I said a lot of the time that people just kind of are too afraid to do things that maybe they need to do. And yeah, with the courage of God, you can do it. Do not be afraid of people and what they think. Well, I also have Joel chapter 2, verse 13. Return to the Lord of your God, for he is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger, and abounding in love. That's actually a song. Actually, like most of these Bible verses have been made into songs. Like, I don't know if there's any Bible verses that haven't been. And then there's also Zephaniah chapter 2. It says, seek righteousness, seek humility, perhaps you will be sheltered on the day of the Lord's anger. There's also Luke chapter 1. It says, because of the tender mercy of our God, by which the rising sun will come to us from heaven to shine on those living in darkness and in the shadow of death, to guide our feet into the path of peace. So I guess the full section here, I only highlighted that bit, but it says the full section is from 76 to 79. You, my child, will be called a prophet, for you will go on before the Lord to prepare the way for him, to give his people the knowledge of salvation through the forgiveness of their sins, because of the tender mercy of our God, by which the rising sun will come to us from heaven, to shine on those living in darkness and in the shadow of death, to guide our feet into the path of peace. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where I should end, like what note to end this video on, but maybe I'll just read one more. And yeah, let's go to see if there's anything down here towards the end. So it says, James chapter 1:22. Do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says. So it's basically saying to do instead of just listen, or to do instead of just talk, or whatever. Don't be all talk. And here we have, I've highlighted in Hebrews, it says, chapter 4:13, encourage one another daily as long as it is called today, so that none of you may be hardened by sin's deceitfulness. So it's basically saying not to be jaded and to encourage one another, to don't have an unbelieving heart that turns away from God. Yeah. So I mean, I feel like that's a good verse to end it on. And if anyone wants me to do another part to this video, a second one, I can do that. And yeah. So, oh, I have other interesting news. My sister might be getting me a vlogging camera, so I might be able to vlog like when I'm out and about instead of just like sitting in one place, and that might be interesting. I don't know, I think it's something I'm interested in doing, obviously, because I asked her to buy me a camera. So that might be cool. That might be something you could look forward to. Get yourself a Bible. I don't know what to say at the end of the video, but yeah. my next video, I guess.